And good afternoon, race fans. Welcome to Texas Motor Speedway as we're getting set for All-Star Race Weekend with the two Foster's Showdown races from here at Texas Motor Speedway. We have 37 cars in the first race, 38 in the second one. Top 5 from these drivers will transfer in the main event, and then in between the Showdowns and the All-Star race, we're going to find out who will win the fan vote for a driver who will lock him or herself into the All-Star race. Carlos Knott, Jessica Shelton on the pole, Brendan Rogers in the 09, and his brother Bevo alongside. I'm going to go ahead and get these cars lining out. You can check down over here to the right side of your screen your starting grid for the first Showdown race. Jordan Anderson going to be driving the 13 car for the rest of the season in a split effort with Saber Fox for the remainder of the season. Stephanie Meansville will be in the 02 car, and she'll be making her debut. We'll be out in that car for the rest of the season. Stephen Bear back after serving a very lengthy suspension due to his behavior back right around the Michigan weekend. Laney Fredrickson back in the 44. He's replacing Jordan Anderson, who moved over to the 13 ride. Frank Underhill will be making his debut in the 30 for On Point Motorsports. And Amber Wilcox in the 03, who's starting 5th, making her debut. Normally, I'd be going over the top 10 of the point standings, but because we are here for All-Star Race Weekend, that means we will not have to worry about points until next week when we're racing here at Texas. And, of course, there's going to be 2 non-charter qualifyings instead of 1. We're green for Showdown race number 1 here today at Texas. I want to try to be quiet because my roommates next to me are in bed, so I'm going to try to do the best I can to be quiet and not wake them up because they got work tomorrow. Hope you guys respect that. I don't know why I have that up. Carlos Knott in the 42. Caution's out already on the first lap as Carlos Knott, by the way, running the Wendy's colors this week. Normally you see it on the 62, but it's also on the 42 this week. Who brought out this yellow? Ryan Boyer's in trouble. Don't know if he's got any damage. There's Seth Cole's on pit road. 27, that's Joshua Sikoli. PJ Williams is in trouble. There's Ali Liera. Last thing you don't want to see is a driver getting involved in something like this. Cody McGorvick is on pit road, so something must have happened to that 2311 car. Looks like he's down the way. Let's take a look at the replay here. Oh, he came down the pit road along with Seth Cole. Let's see what happened. Apologize, my nose is a little itchy as I trying to stop, and my replay didn't want to stop. Let's go to Ali Liera. All right, let's take a look at what happened. Looks like... Oh, that was Jordan Anderson and the 28 who got into the wall there. There's Seth Cole. That's Ryan Boyer. So it looks like there was contact between the 28 and 13. Let's go to helicopter view because I couldn't get a good shot of the contact. This should tell the tale. Looks like Ryan Boyer, and that's William Davis who made contact. Of course, Boyer goes up, gets into Jordan Anderson, collects Seth Cole. William Davis nearly gets the wall. Seth Cole pancakes the right side of his Chevy. There's Ali Liera. It looks like she did get a piece of the Ford of Ryan Boyer. And look at everybody just managed to do a good job. Seth Cole made a little contact with Kaylee Rankin. Looked like Seth Cole's spotter was not paying any attention. No, not realizing the 31 was there. And that's why the first caution of this race is out. And that's not good for drivers if you go out of the race, whether you're a non-charter or a go-or-go-homer. If you retire out of the race due to damage, you will have to go to a backup. Looks like Seth Cole is out of the race. And Seth Cole's chances of making the All-Star race are pretty much done and dusted. I also noticed Scarlett Wallace has come to pit road with a problem. Not sure what is wrong with the United Rentals Ford Mustang. And looks like she's leaving pit road, so she'll stay on the lead lap. And that will mean Seth Cole will have to go to a backup car for the non-charter race here next week, and will have to start at the rear of the field as a result. If you guys are not aware, if you retire out of the Open or the All-Star race and you have to go to a backup car, you will have to start at the rear of the field, whether it's in the Showdown race or not Showdown race, excuse me, if you're in the non-charter race or if you're in the main event. Because remember, all of these drivers have a backup car. So that is not good for Seth Cole. So Seth Cole will have to go the rear of the field next week due to going to a backup car is what I'm trying to say. Green flag back in the air. Couple of teams that already have their teammates in the All-Star race. Carlos Sinat and Jessica Shelton out of Petty GMS Racing and Hendrick Motorsports, respectively. Their teammates are in the All-Star race. Neither the 42 or the 9 have been to victory lane in the first half of the regular season. Shelton, of course, running the Napa colors this week on her Chevy Camaro, which is a little surprising to see a Hendrick Motorsports car here in the Showdown, to be quite honest with you. There's a lot of teams that kind of surprised me that are here in the Showdown. Both of the RFK cars, 3 of the 4 Stewart Haas Racing cars, Fitzwater, Wallace, and Liera, because their other teammate, Emmanuel Hartnett, is in the All-Star race. All 3 Penske cars are in the Showdown, which is a bit shocking. Both of the 2311 racing cars are in the all 3 of the 2311 cars are in the All-Star race. So this is very interesting, if you ask me. There's Shelton. There's Brendan Rogers running the Brandt Chevrolet out of Junior Motorsports. Amber Wilcox is making her debut in this series. Will be in this car for the rest of the season in the number 03. This is I believe the 4th ride out of Richard Childress Racing. Of course, the 03 and the 33 are running part-time schedules. Daniel Witter on the bubble, running the Nike Air Jordan colors this week on her 2311 Toyota. If anybody needs to turn what has been a disappointing first half of the regular season, it's that 45 team. They are right near the bottom of the points table. Unless they can get a miracle, I do not think Daniel Witter will be battling for this championship. If she wants to make the playoffs and get herself in the top 30 in points, she has got to start having better finishes in these next 13 regular season races. Because she's running out of time as far as that's concerned. In fact, none of the 2311 racing cars have been to victory lane in the first 13 races of this season. Sorry about that. I was trying to open my water bottle. I have a flavored water I'm drinking. And I was trying to do that and record at the same time. Carlos Sanat, the only full-time driver for Petty GMS Racing. This team will be now known as the Legacy Club next season. Which will begin in 2024. Carla Sanat has had a pretty messy season. Of course, her teammate David Heller has been to victory lane, but David Heller's been having some pretty poor finishes in the last several weeks. That's put him right near that danger zone of falling outside the top 30 in points and having his win at Springfield not count towards a spot into this season's chase for the championship. Which would be a travesty if that happens for David Heller, the senior from OCCC in Chandler, Oklahoma. There's Ali Lear and Ryan Boyer. They're back here at the rear of the field. Scarlett Wallace, we do not know what was wrong with Scarlett Wallace's car, but she's back here at the rear of the field. There's PJ Williams in the 32. Jordan Anderson in the 13. These were the drivers that were involved in the first yellow from Anderson on back, with the exception of Scarlett Wallace. Quinton Moore having a pretty not so good year. There's Paul Minnick in the Bass Pro Shop colors this week. Doug Ellinger, who made his debut last week at Rio. Stephanie Meansville getting a little rude introduction to this series, courtesy of Paul Minnick. Stephanie Meansville, a driver I've never heard of before. There's Doug Ellinger. Of course, he made his debut. There's Trevor Good. Frank Underhill. Of course, you know him from the Oreo Cup Series. Right in front of him is Reagan Whitlock, as she's trying to get underneath Jarrett Underhill. Of course, Jarrett Underhill, last time I checked, was leading the fan vote as far as the full-time drivers is concerned. And something is wrong with Zachary Fitzwater in the 4. He's got a mechanical problem or something, as McGorvick was on the apron for some reason. I think he was trying to avoid running over the 4 of Fitzwater. Ah, poor Fitzy. Let's hope this problem is not terminal, as he's going 45 miles an hour. He'll be going a lap down, and unless he can get a break from the fan vote, I don't think Zachary Fitzwater will make the All-Star race, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, a tire went down. That was probably why. It looked like he cut a right front tire down. Don't know if he made contact with another driver, but regardless, that's a tough break for him, as there's Lainey Fredrickson, the ex-girlfriend. She is my ex-girlfriend. Even though she's been making false accusations of me and her back together, when that is 100% false, because I'm not with her anymore. And Stephen Bear in the 39. I don't know what team this is under, Stephen Bear. Of course, it's a Chevrolet team. If I had to wager a guess, and this is just an educated guess, it can't be under Stuart Haas Racing, because 1, they're driving Fords, and 2, that would be not good. I want to say this team is out of, I don't know. I'll have to look at the team. I think it's, I'll look it up after the race. Kayla Rankin just going around. That's one of the Front Row Motorsports. That's Tori Gossett in the pink colors this week. And there's Trevor Good in the teal colors. Of course, they have the same sponsorship, the WellCare colors. But you can pick those two cars apart because one is in the pink car, the other one is in a teal car. So, Remy Crampton, there's Reggie Fogelman. Kate Anderson in the 2. There's Shelton and Carla Sanat. Sanat has led since the start of this race. Shelton has not responded to the Wendy's Chevrolet out of Petty GMS Racing. So Jessica Shelton trying to make sure all 4 Hendrick cars that are full-time make it into this season's All-Star race. And Carla Sanat trying to make sure both Petty GMS Racing cars, both of their full-time entries, are in the show. As there's Kate Anderson in 3rd. Running the car shop colors this week. She'll also run that car next week. And look who's up here in 4th. It's Cody Smart. Cody Smart in the 17. If he doesn't make the race, I know he wants to go for the fan vote, but he's like, I just want to make the race, the All-Star race. Right now, him, Kate Anderson, the 07, that's Bevo Rogers, who is on the bubble. Kate Anderson, Shelton, and Sanat are the drivers who, as things stand, would make the All-Star race. Carla Sanat, one of 2 Australian drivers in this series. The other is Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater is 1 lap down. That kind of sums up Zachary Fitzwater's the end of the first half of the regular season. This would be huge for Carla Sanat to get herself locked in the All-Star race. Same with Jessica Shelton. And then Kate Anderson, Cody Smart, and Bevo Rogers, 3 Fords out of Penske Racing, RFK Racing, and Robbie Gordon Motorsports, respectively. Currently own the final spots into the transfer to the All-Star race. Right now, Jared Underhill could possibly clinch the fan vote, depending what happens in race number 2. Because in the event of a tie, the 2 drivers that are tied, if we have a tie, then 2 drivers that are tied for the fan vote will make the All-Star race together. Coming to 4 to go, excuse me. And if Carla Sanat and Jessica Shelton both make the All-Star race, that's really going to be big for their morale as far as entering the second half of the regular season, as far as that is concerned, because it has not been a good... Well, Shelton's had a good season. Carla Sanat, on the other hand, has had a season. Kate Anderson, I know, who is doing well. Of course, Cody Smart's running well in points. Has yet to find victory lane. The good news for Cody Smart is Shane Lake, who's in the All-Star race, is still outside the top 30 in the points, meaning his win would not count towards a spot into this season's chase for the championship, as we have 2 to go. So if I'm Shane Lake, I better start getting a second win and try to get himself in the playoffs, as Cody Smart is now on the bubble under attack by Nick Voiles. The good news is for Zachary Fitzwater, this is a non-points event, so this could be a good tool to help him get ready for the points-paying event here at Texas next week. As we're on the last lap of Foster's Showdown number 1. Of course, we have Foster's Showdown number 2. That'll be coming up in just about an hour or 2. Carla Sanat leads from flag to flag here in the Showdown race, as Carla Sanat will transfer in the All-Star race. So will Jessica Shelton. So will Kate Anderson, Cody Smart, and Bevo Rogers. They will make the All-Star race. And what could be good for Cody Smart is his teammate Jared Underhill. If he wins the fan vote, he will also make the All-Star race. So Carla will start 14th, Shelton 15th, Kate Anderson 16th, Cody Smart 17th, and Bevo Rogers will start in the 18th position. Looks like the 8 car had a mechanical problem or something. And she's sitting on pit road, so it looks like she's not going to make the race. Okay, so here it is. 42, 9, 2, 17, and 07. Good to see a go or go homer make the All-Star races. They're having a little stack-up effect. So Sanat, Shelton, Anderson, Smart, and Bevo Rogers will make the All-Star race. Everybody else that is full-time have to pray and hope they make the get the fan vote. Of course, all the non-charter drivers were ineligible for the fan vote, so unfortunately for them, they will not make the race, but we will see them here next week. As Gallant ended up finishing 8 laps down, so we are not entirely sure what was wrong with the 8 car. Zachary Fitzwater finished a lap down, and Seth Cole was the only car that finished out of the race. He will go to a backup car for the non-charter race next week and start at the rear of the field, regardless where he qualifies that 25 car. But that's it for Showdown race number 1. Congratulations to the 5 drivers that transferred in. Hope you enjoyed Showdown race number 1. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We'll see you guys later today. Later in about an hour or two for Showdown race number 2 as All-Star Weekend continues on the PCSRA Sports and Gambling channel, the best in our racing since 2017.